Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our third Finance in 15 Friday webinar. I hope you're all having a good, or you've had a good week, and looking forward to a weekend. Now, today I am talking to you about one of my absolute favourite subjects in business, and that is the power of deep work. Now, hopefully you have been catching up with the post in the week in the group about deep work, and you have learned a bit about it already. So today's webinar is to really bring all of that content together and help you to understand just how powerful this is if you put it into your business. So let's start. Now, as you'll know, if you've been to the Finance in 15 webinars before, if you've watched them on replay, the idea is to take a short, punchy, single topic and do a short 15-minute webinar so that you can learn something useful, take notes, take action, then go and implement something into your business to make a difference. So please do join in, leave your comments, just check and see if we're actually live in the group. We are indeed, thank you very much. So please do join in, let me know you're there. It's always great to know I'm not actually speaking to no one. And if you're watching on replay, you know the drill by now, do hashtag replay in the comments, and it's really great for me to know that you have seen the webinar. So please do join in and let me know what you think. So let's crack on. So there's a book called Deep Work by Cal Newport, and I came across this maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And I have to say, it's the book that probably has had the most impact on my life, and in fact, my clients' lives and my clients' businesses too. It's quite a simple concept, but it takes the implementing it into your business isn't necessarily simple, but it has massive, massive rewards. So like most people, if I think about sort of 4 or 5 years ago, I'd become completely addicted to the distraction of email and social media interruptions. And I'd find myself flitting from task to task to task and never quite getting that big stuff done. And then wondering why my business wasn't making the big progress I wanted it to. And as I worked more strategically with my clients, I really noticed that they were struggling to make the difference too. So we'd be working on their finances, we'd be putting their management accounts in place, but then they'd keep sort of repeating the same month and they weren't really making that traction. Hi, Rebecca. They weren't making that traction or getting the progress, and they weren't seeing their financial results changing. And you realize that the excuse or the answer always was, I haven't had time. And the problem is, if we keep on with that track of I haven't had time, nothing does get done. We don't get to make those big changes and do those big things that make the difference. And we're all here because we want financial freedom. That means we've got to do some big stuff in our business to make that happen. And it's realizing when the addiction that is being programmed into us by all these tech products that we're using, and make no mistake, we are being programmed by them. Their sole aim is to keep you on their platform or their product as long as possible, because your attention is what they are basically trading in. And realizing that addiction and that focus that they're taking from us is having a massive cost to our businesses and to our lives. So once I realized this and I read the book, it really blew me away. The simplicity of the antidote was this thing called deep work. And it really completely changed how I ran my business and started to change how I trained my clients. So we all know, don't we, we're in a world of increasing distraction. Now, the scary thing about it is that there's been a lot of research done in many universities, including Harvard. And what they've realized is our brains are actually becoming hardwired to look for distraction. And we're becoming hardwired to look for that dopamine hit of like, oh, I've got an email, oh, I've got a Facebook comment, oh, I've got a notification. And we are becoming hardwired to the point where we are losing our ability to focus on anything more than a few moments or a few minutes, which is why you may find when you sit down to do something, how you find yourself getting distracted, or you want to pick your phone up, or you want to check your emails. It's something that's becoming hardwired into us. And if we're not careful and we don't guard against it, we may potentially lose that ability forever. So this is such an important topic, and I'd really recommend you get the book and have a read, or get it on audio, as some people in the group have said this week, because if we lose our ability to focus and we lose our ability to get big stuff done, our businesses are going to be very shallow, and we're just not going to get that stuff done. We spend an entire week in reaction, flitting from emails to various platforms, picking up our phone, checking social media. And I don't know if you can relate to this, but you find a day's gone by and you're thinking, what did I do today? I literally don't know what I've done. If I had to write down my achievements, I just don't know what I've done. But I know I've been really, really busy and been really distracted. And it's understanding that the tech companies, that is their job, is to make their product addictive and to make you want to keep checking it. And you may have read this, but the tech bosses in Silicon Valley don't actually let their kids use these products because they understand very well what they're doing to their brains. So the world we are ending up in is a world of shallow work. And it's the polar opposite of what we actually need to make our businesses successful. So we're ending up with shallow work. Now, shallow work is around, the multitasking that some people proudly proclaim to do. By the way, there is no such thing as multitasking because we can only do one thing at a time. So what we're actually doing is jumping from task to task to task. And each time we do that, breaking up our focus, breaking up our concentration, and then it takes you maybe 20 minutes to get back into what you were doing before. So just make sure that there is no such thing as multitasking. It's not physically possible by humans. And it leads to very fragmented thinking. Now, you may have experienced this when you've been kind of like flitting from thing to thing to thing. Your brain feels like it's in pieces and you can't quite get your head into what you wanted to do. The thing about shallow work is it doesn't create any value. If you've just spent a day flitting between emails and social media and doing bits and bobs, multi-failing, yes, that's right, Becca, it's exactly what it is. If we're flitting around, we can't focus. We can't really get your head down and think of something, work out a big problem. I don't know, create a marketing strategy, write some content, look at your figures. We require deep concentration and it's getting very hard for us to do that. So this deep work is very, very important. Another thing about shallow work is it's very easy to do because everyone's doing it. And therefore it's very easy to replicate. So if you're just in that trap of shallow work, how are you adding any value to your business or to the world? Because valuable work can only come from deep work. Our shallow, fragmented thinking doesn't create the breakthroughs. It doesn't create the genius ideas. It doesn't help us make real massive progress in our businesses. And there's something I only came across recently called confetti time. I heard it on a podcast a couple of months ago. And confetti time is where you look at your day and you think you've got maybe 6 or 7 or 8 hours to get some stuff done. But the natural fact is that time is so broken up with bits and bobs and interruptions and phone calls and emails and Zoom meetings. The bits of time that are left in between are like confetti time, and they're not long enough periods of time for you to actually do anything useful with. So where you might think, well, I've got 3 or 4 meetings, I've still got 3 or 4 hours left. It's so broken up, your brain can't get into anything to do that deep work. And you find those big projects that are on your list, they keep getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And you say, I just didn't have time. I haven't got time. I'm too busy. Well, this stuff isn't going anywhere. So we have to change the way we work if we want to get that big stuff done. Because if you live in that world of shallow work, anyone can do it. It's very easy. And you're not going to stand out. You're not going to differentiate. You're not going to create true value in your business that people will be willing to pay you for. So I'm just wondering, can any of you relate to that concept of shallow work and that sort of frenetic multitasking? If you can, please drop me a note in the comments because I would love to know what your experiences of that are. So what is deep work? Now, you'll have an idea if you've been looking at the posts in the week, but if not, I will tell you all about deep work. It's the opposite of shallow work. So it's the opposite of that frenetic, distracted, tiny bits of time, trying to get stuff done, not getting anything important done. It's work without any form of distraction. So there's no social media, there's no phones, there's no emails, there's no interruptions. It's just you and silence and just getting on with the big things that need doing. And it's unbroken periods of time to achieve something important. So rather than thinking, oh, well, I've got to do a marketing strategy or I need to work on my financial goals, I'll knock off an hour here and there, and I've got half an hour here, I've got an hour there. That isn't deep work. Deep work is putting in blocks of time where you can get your head deeply into it, really think about it and really create some value and create something worth doing. You just don't get those kind of breakthroughs and that kind of achievement in little bits of time. And they're the tasks that make the real difference to your business. So I've always got a deep work project list on the go, and I schedule my deep work time so I know exactly what I'm going to be working on. I'm not thinking, oh my God, I've got 100 bits of paper on my desk, 100 things on my to-do list and flitting around. It's about being very focused and working with intention on those important jobs. And they're the tasks that are going to create the real value in your business and in the world, and the things that will literally add value to your company's valuation. So if you're thinking about that financial freedom, making more profit, making more cash, building your pension fund, building the value of your company, that's the kind of stuff that will only come from deep work. And it's things like creating new products, creating new strategies, thinking about problems that need solving. This is deep work stuff. Now, you may have heard about Bill Gates of Microsoft, who famously has his Think Weeks, where he goes, still to this day, goes away to a log cabin in the woods where there's no distraction, no electronics, and he just spends the week thinking big thoughts, thinking through big ideas, and really working out. And that's how he created all his great products. They had those Think Weeks. He didn't create them sitting at his desk answering emails and being distracted by social media. And the thing about deep work is it's a rare skill, and it's becoming more and more rare because so many people are letting their brains become hardwired to distraction and fragmentation and confetti time. So it's a rare skill to cultivate that the economy needs. And if you can cultivate it, you will create such value in your business and it will leave your competitors standing. So it's an incredibly important thing to do. The problem is clearly very few businesses, and I've seen this many times over the last 20 years, very few businesses are making time for those important things to happen. They're not carving out that time. And days and weeks and months and years goes by, and I know I've experienced this. In fact, creating the Academy was one of the biggest examples of this. It's been on my list for 5 years. My passion, my dream was to create an online training program where I could teach everything I teach my clients and put it up for a really low monthly fee. And it's been such a passion for so long. And everyone who knows me is fed up with me going on about it. It's only when lockdown happened that I was given the gift of that deep work time to put the couple of thousand hours it was going to take in to create something that's going to have value in the future and that can help people. So those days, weeks and months, years do go by and you're thinking like, oh my God, what have I done this year? What have I done this week? And so deep work really is a superpower. I've seen so many businesses completely transform by embracing deep work. And a lot of my clients who have embraced this, they're Academy members who are learning all about it and putting it into their diaries. It transforms your business because you're getting that time to think about the big stuff. Yeah, comment here. I'm a big fan of deep work and allocate 2 days a week to it. Amazing. 2 days a week. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, you get to the end of each week and you know your business has taken huge steps forward. And you've been doing it for 5 years. That must be Darren then. Sorry, I can't see people's names on my feed. Yes, I've seen how much progress you've made and it's been amazing. So I've created some rules over the years. I've been helping clients put this into place, and these are my rules for putting in deep work into place in your business. You need to keep a list of your deep work tasks and projects because then you know what you're going to do with that deep work time. You've got to block that time out in advance so that you know when you're doing it. You can't go, oh, well, I'll try and get some deep work time in this week, because it doesn't work that way. You've got to commit to it. You've got to make a commitment to you, yourself, your business, and say, that day in my diary is a deep work day or a deep work half day, and nothing can get booked in around that. Making sure people know around you what you're doing and what the importance is. Now, the best way to do deep work is to get away from distraction. So if we pretend we're going to work, I know which we're not now, but leave the office, go work from home, go and work in a hotel, work somewhere that is away from all the distractions. Put your out of office on and absolutely close down your email. Make sure all of your notifications, distractions and alerts are turned off. And in fact, do that anyway. You never want notifications pinging up because it's going to just interrupt your brain all the time. Ideally, don't have your phone within reach. If I'm doing deep work, I leave my phone in a different room because that hardwired temptation to keep reaching for my phone to see if someone's messaged me, especially when you hit a tricky bit. So remove distractions so you just can't get at it. Work somewhere you can pretty much guarantee you won't be interrupted if you possibly can. I know not quite so easy at the moment, but maybe shut your office door, tell people you're doing stuff you don't want to be interrupted. And you'll build up your capacity gradually. When you first try and do deep work, you'll find that you'll go, oh my God, I can only do 2 minutes without wanting to check email. that is just because you've become addicted and hardwired. So just keep pushing through, do a bit longer, a bit longer, a bit longer each time. And before you know it, you'll be able to concentrate for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And it is amazing when you train your brain to focus more deeply, you'll then be able to apply that to loads of different parts of your life. And you'll find yourself being more ruthless with emails and distractions as well. Because once you know what you can achieve in deep work, you don't want to go back to those days of being frenetic and all fragmented and a bit swirly. So it's about cultivating the skill of deep work, building your capacity to focus on those longer periods of time, and you will, I guarantee, significantly improve your results. You'll get the important stuff done in your business rather than just all the shallow, unimportant, where you're just shifting emails around, moving tasks around, and just being in reaction all the time. And doing this kind of work grows your financial strength, because you're going to do the kind of work that really builds those parts of your business that are valuable, the parts that are going to bring in more revenue, bring in better profit margin, control your overheads. You're going to be adding profit to your bottom line. You're going to be adding cash to your balance sheet and your bank accounts. So this is the kind of work that has such incredible power. And it really does create real value in your business. And over time, you'll rewire your brain to be much more focused, which will exponentially improve what you can achieve in any given day, week, month, or year. And then, really celebrate when you get the big stuff done. When you've got something you've achieved, notice that and celebrate it, and realizing just how powerful you can be when you know you can get through this deep work. So I'm wondering, what do you think you could achieve in a world without distraction? What would be possible for you? What would be possible in your business if you didn't have any distractions? And if you could cultivate that habit of turning everything off for a whole day or half a day, what would you get done? What's on your project list right now that you would love to do? What are your passion projects that you want to pursue? What's that new product that you want to create? What's the new marketing strategy that you want to build? What about building your financial goals for the future, building your 3-year plan? All those things that we'd love to do, but they never get done because we are too busy all the time. Because staying too busy means you'll never get those jobs done. So please drop me some comments in the feed. I would love to know, whether it's now or on replay, what would you achieve? What's on your oh my God, I would so love to do that if only I had time. What would be on that list of things to do? It might be putting a new process in or putting a new system into your business. It might be recruiting some new people, but you haven't got time to do a job spec. I know that happens a lot. And when you're looking at your figures every month, what things are showing up in your business that you need to go and address, but you haven't got time. So anytime you find yourself saying, oh no, I haven't got time, I want you to stop and think about deep work. And just go and from one action from today, go ahead now and go to your diary and block out, even if it's 2 hours for now, just to get started, but block out maybe 2 hours a week, put it in your diary, fixed in stone, can't be taken by anybody else, and just see what you could do with that time. So, and I'd like to know if anyone has any questions. And again, whether that's now or you can leave those on the replay, and I'm very happy to answer any questions you've got on deep work. I would just say it's been probably the single thing that's been the biggest game changer in my business and all of my clients I've shown this to. It has just completely transformed what they do. And, obviously what we're all here for is the financial side of things. This is the one of the biggest levers that is going to help you to really create that value in your business and create value and to help you build towards financial freedom. So I hope that's been useful. Next week, we are talking about financial goals. So setting very clear financial goals. And I would love you to let me know if there's any other topics you want me to cover. Please do leave the comment in the comments box, and I will add that onto the list for you. So have a great rest of Friday and a good weekend, and I will look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care then. Bye.